When I received my call, I was living with a friend who was a returned missionary and who had served in a Spanish-speaking country. And since I was called to serve in Spanish, I was super excited to read with her and study with her and kind of have a little mini companionship study. And so what we would do in the mornings was we would read from Preach My Gospel, we would have our own study, and then we would study a little bit together and we would discuss what we learned. And it was fun to kind of feel like a missionary or get in the habit of being a missionary. And that helped me to kind of just get in the mindset, I guess, of being a missionary and studying with someone else, sharing my thoughts, setting aside time for it. And so I would recommend that, just finding someone you could study with, maybe a sister, a parent, a brother, a friend, anyone. And another thing that I did that was helpful for me was I started to memorize scriptures or just things that I would be using as a missionary in Spanish and in English. And I had a sister who taught in the MTC, and so she kind of knew what specific scriptures we could learn were. And so I would, like, the Joseph Smith experience, I memorized that in English and I memorized that in Spanish, and some key scriptures I memorized, kind of like the scripture mastery ones, or the ones in Preach My Gospel that are part of the lesson plan. And that helped a lot when I was in the MTC, because there was a time when the rest of my district was learning it, and I could spend that time on learning other things. And so, like, the more you can learn ahead of time and practice and get under your belt, the more time you can spend on other things once you're in the MTC and asking questions to your teacher and stuff like that. So that was really helpful for me. And another thing that I would recommend is to go to the temple as often as you can and to learn there and to receive the spirit and the power that you can receive from just being in the house of the Lord.